Well, Rachel, I know this is not the kindest thing, but you kind of have it coming. Uh, this is a picture of my son that was sent to me today. And as you'll notice, there's something a little off about the picture. I'm not going to state what that thing is. I'm just going to let you guys figure that part out because you're looking at the picture. My son's 3.5. I'll be 44 in a few days, just to put things into perspective. You could call me an old man. I don't know if that's accurate, but I don't think you can call me a young man. And I've seen my son for 2 hours this year, so let's just kind of go through it from the time that he was born, or before even, right? While his mom was pregnant. I wasn't sure that I was the father. I thought there was a strong possibility that I was, but I certainly didn't think that I was definitely the father, and I had reason for thinking that at the time. So I would say that I was not involved until my son was born, and at that point I was already being pushed out of the picture for my non-involvement during the pregnancy. I was delayed a DNA test for at least 5 months to find out, in fact, that he was my son. I did not want to go to court over this matter based on my own personal upbringing and seeing my parents get divorced. I just didn't want to go to court. And it became apparent that I was not going to be allowed to see my son properly unless I did go to court. So in the summer, I filed. My son is about to turn 2 years old. So this is 2024. And we get to court in October of 2024. And the court essentially gives me, the mother gives me through the court visitation for approximately, I think, 11 and a half hours every 2 weeks, which isn't reasonable at all. We went to mediation. A few things have happened at this point. The mother's yelled at me in front of my son, said really inappropriate things, told me to kill myself and whatnot. And I've argued with her in the sense that I'm trying to see my son and have a schedule, and I haven't been kind to her in that regard because I'm just being adamant, right? I'm being forceful in my language, probably rude, and we'll get to that part because I called everyone a cunt involved in this. And at some point, later on, after it became apparent that I wasn't going to be allowed to see my son properly, I kind of started calling everybody names. But at this point, it's more, she's just not letting me see him. She's upset with me, and it's not clear what's going on. We go to mediation, and that was like 2 or 3 sessions, and the mother decides not to do it anymore. But out of that, she gives me, a few more hours on Wednesday. So now it's 11 and a half hours plus like 4 hours. So now we're like close to, 15, 16 hours every 2 weeks is how I'm seeing my son when I'm allowed. And at this time, she had an apartment fire, and the apartment got condemned, and I didn't find out about this until much later. But that's what's going on around this time. Then something crazy happens. My son tried to kiss my penis, but it wasn't just that. It was the whole, I'm just changing, normally like I would in front of him, and he says, "Oh, Daddy, you have a beautiful pee-pee." That's a fucking weird comment, but I let it go. And he comes over to me, he puts his hands on my testicles and leans in as if he's about to kiss my penis. Obviously, I stop him, and alarm bells are going off, like, what the fuck is going on, right? The comment was weird, and now the action's even stranger. Clearly, this is a learned behavior. What else am I supposed to surmise from the situation? So I start asking questions, I record it, and it seems very much like there's inappropriate behavior going on between his mother and the boyfriend, non-boyfriend, Uber driver, whatever the fuck,